This is a transmission from the fringes of the struggle. This is Dr. Randolph Tillinghast, with some words of wisdom for the bold revolutionaries of the resistance. Words pertaining to the threat. I know what it's like, oh my brothers and sisters, to be out in the cold. When your slave life is a collage of manufactured memories, and you've been in and out of so many cover identities that there's a congregation of strangers waiting in every mirror. When you've defined your mind and life in terms of the fight for so long that you've forgotten who you're fighting and what you're fighting for. When you come to know that there are at least 5 sides to every issue. When you know that no safe house is safe, that your most meaningful experiences have been hallucinations. When you're burned out and yearning for the comforts of a home you've never known. You may get a little misty on what the threat is and why it's so threatening. You might remember that your initiation into clarity was probably conducted under conditions of chemical distortion by a gaggle of paranoid dropouts and malcontents, who made your whole life, previous to meeting them, seem meaningless. They made you feel like the best thing you could ever do is to die for their struggle. All of this may be true, but don't lose faith. The threat is real. It's as real as the internet, and the language you think in, and the money you buy drugs and guns with. In fact, the threat is made of all these things and more. When you fight the threat, you're fighting money. You're fighting death. You're fighting time. You're fighting inertia. You're fighting velocity. You're fighting government. You're fighting religion. You're fighting industry. You're fighting nature. You're fighting normality. You're fighting the unknown. You're fighting art. You're fighting science. You're fighting them. You're fighting each other. You're fighting yourselves. You're fighting how it is. You're fighting the fighting. First, we overcome the threat. Then, maybe, we overcome our resistance. Or is it the other way around? In either case, until then, I'm Dr. Randolph Tillinghast. I make the drug that makes the whole world see. Want it bad enough, and my Gibbons will find you. Transmission